Roll the camera. Okay.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2.
Kia ora and welcome to A Plus News. I'm Katrina.
And I'm Jack. In today's story, a new crime wave is sweeping the country in the form of woolen graffiti. Scientists have invented an invisibility cloak. We can help them find it and the latest in the weather around the country. But first, a story that will turn your world upside down.
If you think the world is getting more and more topsy-turvy, it turns out you're right. Builders in Germany have built an upside-down house. Before you think they may have read the plans upside down, they did it on purpose. The wacky episode was built as a tourist attraction as well as being a comment on the state of the world. The house has 23 feet tall and rests on its roof. It has steel beams into the attic. Inside the house there are beds screwed to the ceiling, upside down wardrobes, an upside down kitchen and even an upturned bathroom, though no one has tried to go to the toilet in it or bath. Normally, a house like this would take 3 weeks to build, but this one took over 4 months because the workers kept on getting confused by the strange angles of the walls. Many tourists visiting the house complain of feeling sick and dizzy after just a few minutes inside. We now cross over to our reporter Libby, who was inside the house. How are you feeling, Libby?
Thanks, Katrina. I'm here with the owner of the house, Morgan, and I'm feeling very queasy. What made you decide to build an upside-down house?
Wow, I wanted to be a bit like Willy Wonka.
What comment do you feel the house makes about the state of the world?
Well, I think the house is a bit of a dump, and the world's a bit of a dump. So, yeah.
What are the challenges about living in an upside-down house?
Well, you can't vacuum, and when you go to the toilet, all the insides pour out.
I think that's enough. Is it easy to take a bath?
Oh, I don't take baths.
So is it easy to take a shower?
What's a shower?
How do you wash yourself?
That's just out of the question, miss.
Well, thanks for joining us. I'm Libby from A Plus News. Back to you, Jack, in the studio.
Thanks, Libby. Even watching it makes me feel like vomiting. And now for a story that is truly out of sight. Look out, Harry Potter fans, the world of science is catching up to the world of magic. Scientists in Europe have created a 3D invisibility cloak, which can hide objects by bending light waves. It has been found that light can be controlled using special tiny crystals that makes objects disappear. So far, scientists have made small objects, such as coins, disappear, but hope that it won't be long before they are hiding cars, planes, and even people. People have always dreamed of making themselves invisible, one of the top scientists says. The possibilities are endless, and we are very excited. However, since inventing the invisibility cloak, the scientists have been having trouble finding it. As soon as we put it down somewhere, it just disappears, the inventor of the cloak says. It appears they are having trouble finding other things too, like their lunch, which they think may be underneath the cloak. What will this invention actually be used for? Hoping to see through the reasons behind the invisibility cloak, here is our on-the-spot reporter Georgia with more on the story.
Thanks, Jack. Hi, I'm Georgia, and with me here is Lucy Crossan, the inventor of the invisibility cloak. Hi, Lucy. Thanks for joining us today.
It's my pleasure. It's great to be here with you.
Cool. If you don't mind, we're going to ask you a few questions.
No, that's fine.
Cool. What made you want to invent the invisibility cloak?
Well, I've always wondered whether invisibility was really real, and so I've been studying it for a very long time, and over the last, several weeks, months, it's been a wee while now, I've managed to be able to create an invisibility cloak.
That's pretty cool, isn't it? Can you show me about how the invisibility cloak works, and do you have it here today?
Yes, I do. To the left here is my assistant.
That's really cool and scary at the same time. Wow. Congratulations. Good job, guys. That's amazing. What do you hope the cloak will be one day?
Well, I hope to use it for movies, TV shows, anything really that people need it for, and all sorts of things like that.
Okay. What's the cloak made out of?
Well, all the cloak is really is just some silk and this really rare crystal that you can't hardly get hold of.
Okay. And Chloe, is it harmful to human body or skin if you wear it?
Well, if you get it wet, it will cause the invisibility cloak to get ruined, and if it drips onto your skin, it will burn it.
Oh, does that hurt?
It can for a while, but it wears off.
Okay. Right, that's all we have time for today. And so thank you both for coming, and it's back to you and Jack and Katrina in the studios.
Thanks, Georgia. And now, how's this for an interesting yarn? A new wave of graffiti crime is covering the country thanks to the underground gang known as the Midnight Knitters. These wool-waving criminals are covering tree branches and lamppoles with small jerseys and scarves under the cover of darkness. Police say that the knitting activities of the gang are illegal because their woolly crimes are being done on public property without permission. The popularity of the woolen graffiti is growing and more public objects are being wrapped up every night. But the problem is growing. Police say that when the Midnight Knitters aren't caught soon, every tree, lamppost and traffic light in the country will be warmly dressed against the cold. The problem is spinning out of control. They're a close-knit group of dyed-in-the-wool criminals. We're stitching together a case, but it's not seamless. There is no real pattern to the crimes, a police spokesman said on Tuesday. So far, the criminal knitters have escaped arrest and continue to put the wool over the eyes of both public and the police. We are now in a secret location with our investigator reporter, Nick, who has an exclusive interview with one of the Midnight Knitters gang.
Thanks, Katrina. Hi, I'm Nick, and joining me in this top secret location is a member of the gangster Midnight Knitting gang. Hello, K-I-N-T, how are you?
How are you?
Good, thank you for joining us today. What led you into the dark underworld of the knitted graffiti?
Question. Well, I was brought up on the streets of London with my grandma, and she always said, never give up on your dreams and what you want to become in the future, and I did. So I never gave up on my dreams, so I became a gangster knitter.
Nice. Do you see yourself as a criminal of any type?
No, not at all.
Why?
Because I don't see knitting as violence and anger and hatred. I see it as loving and caring and passion for what you do.
Apart from trees, lampposts and, traffic lights, what else would you like to graffiti with your woolens?
I've made a new series to my collection, and it's called the Toilet Warmer. So what it basically is, when you take it into town or wherever, it's very portable, and what you do is you just put it on the toilet cover, and then it just protects you from all the germs and all this nasty.
Good work. Thanks for your time here, KINT from the Midnight Knitters gang. Now over to Emma with the weather report.
Thank you, Jack. And good evening, New Zealand. Let's have a look at tomorrow's weather. Starting in the far north, in Kaitaia, look out for some pretty flash flooding and raindrops as big as your head. If you're going outside, wear a hat. Moving down to Auckland, there'll be a mix of fair conditions and unfair conditions. But those are the conditions, and you'll just have to accept them. There will be no weather at all for the Bay of Plenty. It's taking a short holiday, but is expected to be back for the weekend. In Napier and Hastings, the weather will sometimes be changeable and sometimes not. We have really no idea what will happen there. In the Taranaki, a mild depression brings with it a very dull day, with no highlights at all. It will be overcast and gloomy all morning, but things should cheer up by the evening, so don't worry, everything will be fine. Wellington will have another capital day. There will be no wind at all, and the day conditions will be so pleasant they'll actually be extreme. In the top of the South Island, Kaikoura can expect to have a good day, meeting friends for lunch, going for a swim and reading the newspapers. But try to stay indoors as the weather will be just terrible. A real mix of Christchurch, which will have some unreasonable rain, some sensible wind, moderate thunderstorms and some very angry snow. In the lower south, Dunedin will be frosty and cold and unfriendly until late morning, when the sun will pop over for a visit. Everybody likes the sun. That's all from me. Remember, if it's raining outside, that's the weather for you. Good night, New Zealand. Now it's back to the news desk with Katrina and Jack.
Thanks, Emma. Well, that's all we have time for.
We hope you've enjoyed this evening's broadcast. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
I'm Katrina.
And I'm Jack.
Goodbye for now.
Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen. Roll the camera. Okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we are featuring an interview with a very peculiar-looking gentleman.
Scene 1, take 1. Scene 1, take 2. Take 2.